Every day there seems to be a new bombshell coming from the Trump administration, so we thought we'd take a break from the breaking news of the day and check in on one of President Trump's campaign promises, specifically his promise to drain the swamp. This is the check-in. President Trump made a lot of promises throughout his campaign, and in general, he kept them very simple, as evidenced by their ability to be expressed in three-syllable chants. Let's see, there was this one.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
There was this one. There was this one that Trump tried to start, but it never really took off.
Keep his coat.
But there was one chant that really summed up the mission statement of the Trump campaign.
We are going to drain the swamp.
And that clip really speaks to how little a plan he had to actually drain the swamp. He said it and just wandered off. How? Because when it came time for candidate Trump to clearly define which policies he would put in place to drain the Washington, D.C. swamp of insiders, lobbyists, and special interest groups, he instead opted for this thorough explanation of how the catchphrase came to be in the first place.
When I first heard that term, I hated it. I said, oh, that's so hokey. That is so hokey. But I said, look, let's give it a shot. I tried it. The place went crazy. Then I said, maybe we'll try it again. The place went crazy. And now I like it. You know, great singers, a lot of great artists, great singers, Frank Sinatra. So Frank Sinatra didn't like My Way when he first sang it. And then he noticed the audience liked it a lot. And then it went out, became #1 like Big. And all of a sudden he started to love that song, My Way, right? So drain the swamp.
Hey, Donald, here's my Frank Sinatra story. I went to the doctor because I had a rash, and he told me it's because I got you under my skin. Now, of course, the problem with the Trump analogy is that Sinatra was singing a song in hopes that people would like it, whereas Trump was making a promise that he would have to follow through on. And so far, he is not.
Is now President Trump draining the swamp or stocking it with a whole bunch of new critters? The administration has made a number of hires who are advising or leading the agencies they targeted as lobbyists just a short time ago.
As it turns out, big money contributions from friendly donors to the president's inaugural committee are paying off for them. Coal magnate and energy executive Christopher Klein gave $1 million as well. Trump overturned many Obama-era energy regulations. That's cute.
Trump is not draining the swamp. Nope. He's inviting the biggest, ugliest swamp monsters in the front door, and he's turning them loose on our government and on our economy.
So it seems a more accurate three-word campaign promise would have been run, swamp monsters. Now, Trump did sign an executive order ban on lobbying shortly after he took office, which probably would have been good policy if it were actually enforced. But according to reports, at least 9 people who worked on Trump's transition have already registered as lobbyists because of loopholes in the ban, meaning they can now cash in privately for whatever work they did in the government, the exact thing Trump promised to avoid. And to make matters worse, it's not just people leaving the government who are taking jobs they probably shouldn't. According to reports, the White House is issuing secret waivers to the president's own ethics rules, allowing incoming officials to work on issues they handled before becoming public servants. Under the Obama administration, such waivers were made public on a White House website. But we checked that page under the Trump administration, and there you go. It's still completely blank. Other blank White House web pages include court cases Trump won, Kellyanne Conway's honest statements, and Melania's favorite things to do in D.C. And these things shouldn't be that difficult for the president to fix, because besides actually enforcing his own ban, Trump could also expand the definition of lobbyist, because there's another pre-existing loophole that basically says former administration officials can call themselves consultants instead. So you can just change the name and get away with it. Try that sometime. No, officer, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm a freelance pharmaceutical consultant. Richard, I'm not cheating on you. Kevin is my extramarital copulation advisor. So as usual with Trump, his insistence on changing the way Washington works was overhyped. Mainly just empty promises and all talk. In other words,
That is so hokey.
this has been the check-in.